Peter Oven has an ability to kind of figure things out and situations just more quickly than a lot of other people. He is somebody who always seems one step ahead of you.
Когда ты ему что-либо говоришь, у тебя твердая уверенность в том, что он уже все понял и готов к любому ответу уже на несколько шагов вперед. Поэтому его вот умение схватывать все на лету и быстро соображать, именно этот аспект поразили меня при первой встрече.
Well, Peter Oven is very intellectual, with a unique cultural background. He is emotional, sometimes over-emotional, very punctual, and reliable, which is very, very important in all type of activity.
Found Peter to be a very direct, business-focused, energetic, no bullshit kind of guy.
A man of vision and a man of action.
The country was changing. The fact that we were very lucky to live in this time, and we had huge chances. And I was very lucky to be part of the government which changed the country, I guess.
Я думаю, что роль Петра Олеговича трудно переоценить в этот этап. Жаль, что он был очень коротким, но это был очень эффективный период в его жизни по формированию правильного отношения к нашей стране.
At that time, Soviet people and Soviet economists had just no idea about how it could be done. Wanted to be very much like a normal Western type bank, with the rules. That's the main thing. With the rules, procedures, and all things around. And that, I guess, was a very important criteria why we were successful.
Очень высококлассные юристы, очень внимательное отношение к всем банковским документам вровень лучших западных, европейских и американских стандартов. И я думаю, это две особенности, которые позволили Альфа-банку на сегодняшний день занимать позицию как одному из лучших частных банков, а с другой стороны, как системообразующий банк российской экономики.
Group and Alpha Bank was a very long-standing, sustainable business which was able to overcome even the most complicated crisis in the Russian economy.
Default because we were much more conservative. We have better credit portfolio. That's number one. And number two, we didn't want to play these games with the state on treasuries. The main thing is Russia defaulted as a country on its debt, on treasuries, and we didn't have a lot. We had to, as initial market makers, we had to have a portfolio for $100 million, but that was all we had. And because on all the other banks were big players on the market, we were not. And then, due to maybe our economic education, we were prepared for devaluation of ruble. We were sure education, conservatism, and quality of portfolio also is conservative. That's what saved us. Before the crisis, we were number 20, and after the size, and after the crisis, we immediately became number 4 or 5, because all 15 banks in between just disappeared. It's a new challenge to try to build business outside Russia, which was our natural start, and so we created the company. It's Luxembourg holding, managed mainly from London and Luxembourg. L1, which is $30 billion currently, and involved in, basically we plan to invest in areas which we understand, and we have now oil business, telecom business, private equity, and potentially we might arrange also financial business there under the same coverage in Europe. Well, first of all, there's some moral obligations. So in Russia, our main focus was we didn't want to tell that too much about that, but basically we supported children medicine for children, and we have created, I guess, second largest Russian charity called Line of Life, and just to support that children's health. We decided to arrange a program called Alpha Fellows to invite young Americans young, around 30 years old, young professionals from different areas who plan to, in their professional life, who plan somehow to deal with Russia. And so we started this program, and that's more than 10 years already. We had 10 years anniversary recently. And so that's a group of 20 average people come to Russia for 9 months without money. And they spend 9 months in Russia just with different companies in Moscow and outside. And they're from state bureaucracy, State Department, for example. They're from journalism, they're from science, they're from all different areas. And we believe that it's crucial for our relations that people in this country understand Russia.
Peter and his colleague, Mikhail Friedman, I think recognized in some of their visits to the United States in the late 1990s and the early part of this century that the interest that existed during the Cold War in the United States in Russia and the Soviet Union had rapidly dissipated. There wasn't a cadre of people who knew Russia, who cared about Russia, who understood Russia. And that's how the Alpha Fellows program came about. They recognized that if they targeted a group of rising young leaders, people in their early 20s and into their early 30s who had already had some experience under their belt, had graduated from college, had started careers in journalism or law or business or in other fields, that if they spent 6 months or 12 months in Russia, learned some of the language, that they would become potentially a cadre or a network of people who would continue to focus on Russia when they return to the United States. And actually it's come to pass after 15 years or so. There is not only this continuing program, but a very active alumni network of people who continue to focus on Russia and support the Alpha Fellows program.
This type of fellowship program, to my mind, is very, very important to support young students, postdocs, to communicate between Russia and with the Russian and American colleagues. That's very, very, very important. And I'm happy that Peter is still involved in this type of activity.
It was, in fact, the idea of Michael Friedman, Alpha chairman. We introduced the so-called Genesis Prize, which is given to somebody who achieved a lot in life and can be a role model, but at the same time he understands and openly tells that his success is based partially, at least, on his Jewish values.
He understands the need for the Jewish community to work together globally. At a time when quite often they're under attack. And so he's contributed a great deal, not only to the Genesis Prize, but I think to Jewish life worldwide.
Правда, не все. Вот я бы хотел подчеркнуть, что Петр Авен по своей натуре человек щедрый. И это часто, так сказать, проявлялось в разных ситуациях, но щедрым надо еще уметь и быть.
Natural choices which I have made in my life. I met many very talented people during my lifetime, and to whom I definitely am helpful, and that's no question. But
he has recognized the importance of somebody who's succeeded in giving back to the community, and also preserving the country's heritage.
Peter is a mensch. He's able to, show the tough, serious side of him, and at the same time make you feel like you're a friend and make you comfortable.
И очень важно, хочу сказать, что он настоящий друг. В трудную минуту к нему можно прийти, посоветоваться, попросить о помощи, он никогда не откажет.
It's very important to remember where you are, where do you come from, how it helped you in your life.